smaller groups. So what are some things you learned from this workshop that you can apply at camp and that can help you as a counselor be in charge of your group?
So if they're like a group of kids who always hang out together, you can always mix them up with other people by, say, favorite ice cream or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Others?
I think that also makes people included that usually are by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So like they have a favorite ice cream, so they end up in that group rather than kind of like secluding themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we were talking about how during camp, if there are, like in the beginning, we usually find some of the kids are more leaders and followers. So during camp, when you're separating out in groups, there's always going to be a couple of kids who are kind of left out, and oftentimes those kids will go and include those kids into a new group, and it would be a good idea to point those kids out at the beginning of camp so that you can use their strengths through the following week.
Yeah, that's a good one. Over here. Yeah.
I feel like how we split it up in the beginning, like based on the iPhone and ice cream and everything, just giving the kids a way to relate to each other makes them more comfortable to share, I think, is the example. I really like something that they like too.
So one thing that I noticed, and I've noticed it as we've done this like at Summit before, and as I've done it at other like leadership trainings, is when we were doing like the mingle game, even though I would say a number, and if our group we didn't have perfect groups of 6, there were a couple people that needed groups, and the groups would find other, like, you'd be like, oh, we can just be a group of 7. So I think that's a really important thing to stress at camp, is that, like, I say a group of 6, but it doesn't have to be only 6. So if there's, like, one camper that's left out, you can have a group of 7 instead of a group of 6 and then one person by themselves. So, like, when you do have those campers who are going to be the leaders of their groups, you can just be like if you talk to them, you can just be like, hey, when we get into smaller groups, can you just make sure that everybody is in a group, and if not, can you just kind of pull them into your group? I think like the older kids especially are really good at that. They're really good at making sure that everybody is included. So what were, let's see, does anybody have any different ideas of how we could split up into small groups at camp?
Well, you can always do like the sticker thing, like bringing stickers, and then if you want them to have different groups each day, then you can give them a different color sticker each day, and then say, okay, everybody with a green sticker come over here, everybody with like a smiley face sticker goes over there, so that's one way to kind of separate groups.
Yeah.
There's always just like the casual like counting off too, because that way everyone's guaranteed a group. Like you have it introduced in similarities, but it might be better that way, just making sure that the groups are getting scrambled the way that you want them to be like moved around.
Mm-hmm. Are there any like issues that you could see coming from doing the groups the way that we did them today?
There could be like, I don't know, a kid that likes an extremely like absurd type of ice cream that doesn't fit into the rest of the groups if he's like nerdy.
Mm-hmm.
Kids could lie if they see their friend go in one group, like, oh yeah, my ice cream's not like chocolate, it's actually vanilla, so they can change it after.
Yeah, that's the one I was looking for. I think that's like something that you're gonna have to watch out for, is make sure that like if you have a group of 4 girls, make sure that like they're actually answering how they want to, because you want them to make other friends. Like it's great that they've got their group, but you also want them to make other friends and to include everybody. So if all of them say like, oh, my favorite ice cream is Play-Doh ice cream, like, is that really your favorite ice cream, or are you just saying that so that you can be with your friend? And like if that is their favorite ice cream, that's super great. But if their favorite ice cream is chocolate, then they should like try to encourage them to get to know people Yeah.
I mean, I think that's also the benefit of the method she was talking about, counting off, you know. Then people are kind of forced to, you know, get into groups with people that they don't necessarily know they have anything in common with, but it also gives them a chance to kind of break away from their friend groups and meet new people.
The one thing that I think is kind of difficult with the count off though is like, I don't know about you guys, but I know when I was younger and they would do the count off, you know, my friends and I would try and like put ourselves where we knew we'd be with the same number, or like we'd find someone that was in their group and be like, hey, you're a 2, I'm a 3, but you go to the 3 and I'm gonna come to your 2, right? And like try to switch with people. I think sometimes that can kind of happen with the count off.
So they used to do that, that's what we used to do all the time in my elementary school. And so what the teachers started doing was they started saying, all right, everybody, line up in the center of the gym. And that could mean anything. That could mean we were counting teams, that would mean we were about to play a game, but we didn't really know. So oftentimes kids would like line up next to their friend, and then we do the count off. So almost always kids were separated into, you know, different groups with new people.
And I think a big thing of that also is changing the number that you count off to. So like don't count off to 4 every time, because eventually they'll catch on that when you count off, you're counting off to 4. So count off to 4 one time and then 7 the next, and then do 5 and then 12 or something like that. Just so that you get a different group of people together all the time. Okay, and then the last thing that we are going to talk about is the attention getters that we have used. Is there any that you guys liked better than the others, or any others that you guys know of, just so that we can use them at camp, and then we aren't saying, hey, listen up 700 times a day, because you have to use attention getters like 25 times in one activity. So are there any others that you guys liked, or that you guys have heard of before that we could use? Yeah.
When I was a kid at summer camp, we used Who You Gonna Call? Ghostbusters.
I like that one.
We do Red Robin and then everyone yells, yum.
Okay.
I like the SpongeBob one because I'm pretty sure, if not all the kids have seen SpongeBob or know that line. So I think that's a good one to use.
Yeah.
We did one at a summer camp I went to, and it was like, wild wolves, let me hear you howl, and everyone would go hold up a little wolf and howl. Everyone's attention.
Yeah, that's good.
I think it would be good to like, I'm sure that you guys do this, but kind of teach your group, like a couple of them, like at the beginning of camp, and then kind of rotate through them so that they all learn them and then get used to them.
Yeah. I know in the past we have had a couple of groups that I don't know if your unit did it, Double T and Heart Math, but we had a couple of groups that when they like found out who their unit character, like mascot was, they'd make up a cheer for that. And that was always a really good way to get them to get that like particular unit to listen. So I think that's like something you can have them do during like they're getting to know you during unit time. Is come up with a couple of different cheers that they could do, so that they can all get together. Yeah.
Like sometimes when you're trying, especially at the beginning of camp when you don't know all your campers' names yet, it's good to like do a count off. So I know like personally, the guys in my unit when I was a camper, they decided that they were pants for some reason. So the girls were like, well, let's be skirts. So they would just yell, pants, count off. And then 1, 2, each person has a number. So sometimes that can be effective to get everybody's attention too, because you know that you're making sure everybody's there and everybody's paying attention. So that can sometimes work too.
That'd be good, especially with us. I know we're doing the Olympic theme for our week, so if we were doing our countries, we could have like our country names that the kids make up, and then having them do the count off with the country names, just basing off of what she said.
And I think sometimes that's like a good thing to implement anyways, because like, I don't know, there will be a couple of times at camp when like you have to get your group together and you're like trying to hurry to the next thing and you don't have time really to like go through and be like, okay, is prickly pear here? Is sprinkles here? Is mini majesty here? So if you can just say like, hey, unit 1 or whatever your name is, count off, then that's like a super fast way to go through and make sure everybody's there. But as the counselor, you have to know which number every child is. So that's a little bit harder for you guys, but that's a good way to just to make sure everyone's there and do it quickly. Okay, sweet. That's the end of that one. So thank you guys.